run the world? Girls. Who 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 run this mother? Who run this mother? Who run this mother?
This is a special, super special segment of the latest with VR show. Today, myself, along with Renee Cosby of ICanRepeatIt.com, are hosting our first annual For Ladies by Ladies Empowerment event in downtown Memphis at the Lily Roze Studios.
For Ladies Networking event. Really appreciate y'all coming out. We're going to go ahead and introduce the panel to you all. Oh, before we introduce the panel, I'm going to introduce the host to you. We have Cynthia Daniels and also Shaana World as well. Also we have Brooke Thomas. Welcome Brooke Thomas to the stage. We have Esco. Cosby is our next panelist. As our host today.
But thank you for coming to the For Ladies by Ladies Empowerment event. We are relentlessly preparing for greatness. And so I hope you all get as much information as you can. I mean, take advantage of these more awesome women that you see in front of you. And so I guess let's just get started right now.
Yeah, let's get started.
Can I get another hand clap? I like to get quick. I'm assuming most of you have Instagram, right? Mm-hmm. So I hate to go on Instagram, and I call them Instagram boutique. People who don't have online, don't have websites, but they, sell through Instagram. There's nothing wrong with it. But what I hate is if you post like a tweetgram saying, read my bio, don't ask me any questions. Okay. If I say I have size 10, don't ask me if I got a size 8. But you have to be professional. So, like Ina, in your field, working for K9 Exceptional, or someone else has been unprofessional, and you had to, because you have to keep it together. Right. So how did you keep it together?
Okay. I can give a good example. I actually had to interview, do you remember, I know some of you look at reality TV, right? Mm-hmm. Right. Joe Budden from Love and Hip Hop New York. Yes. This was early in his career, and he was in town for like a MTV2 Sucker Free show downtown Memphis, and I had to interview him. Mm-hmm. And so he came with his New York crew into the studio, and I was by myself, and it was on the weekend. And so the entire time during the interview, I'm trying to engage him in a conversation. He's just standing there looking at me. We live on the radio. I'm like, so Joe, what brings you to Memphis? And he was like, I want to get with you. We live on the radio. I'm a married woman. I'm like, sir, please, could you please be professional with me? And it was just give and take with the conversation. And I actually had to text one of my coworkers to come in here because I was starting to feel uncomfortable. And he kind of toned it down when my coworker came in. But that was an incident where, he was being very unprofessional. I know he does radio across the country all the time. I don't know if that was his, thing he does with ladies. I don't know. But, you kind of have to sometimes engage other people to kind of get the situation together. I had to do that in that situation. But when I look at him on Love and Hip Hop New York, I'm like, I remember him. Right. That's just an example of one.
And what about accountability?
Accountability, excuse me, is huge. Before I got into business, accountability was something I lived by, I think, as a very young girl. My mom always said I have an old soul, because even in 7th and 8th grade, I always felt like I should hold her accountable. If she said she was going to do something, say something about accountability, because this is a 50-50 effort, not only in money, but on every level that we're doing this. So if you and I have decided that for say we're pursuing our social media, because that's something that we have to break apart because we both have other jobs as well. If you committed to me that you're going to take care of certain days and I log on and I see that you have not done anything that you said you were going to do that day, I have to jump in, and then it's a further problem, and I don't really want to have that uncomfortable conversation because we're not only friends, but we're business partners as well, and the business partner side is optional. So it's like, you know, if I cannot trust you, if I can't hold you accountable, that means I cannot trust you.
Simple. That's a great point. And you know, you brought up a good point. You know, a lot of times we have friends who have the same ideas as us, you know. And me personally, I'm the type of person, I kind of like to do everything by myself. So it's like, how do you can't do business with everybody. So can one of you all speak on that?
To people, everybody doesn't have your best interest at heart, especially when you're you know, out of the public eye. If you're very popular via social media, people always want something from you, or can you be a part of this? I have this product I want to sell you. Can I meet you for such and such? It's okay to say no, because at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, is this going to benefit me? Is it something that I'm passionate about? Is it something I want to help them with? Or is it just something selfish for that person? So that will actually lighten your plate and lighten your load when you say, you know what, I'm going to have to pass on.
Yeah, and like, you know, as far as like social media, I started blogging 2 years ago. For those of you who don't know, I am the founder and editor-in-chief of ICanRepeat.com, and same with Illustrator. If you want to know who told somebody about something on watch the latest episode, go to ICanRepeat.com. Anyway, but, you know, you just have to be mindful of how you use your social media.
Step back. Number one, the first thing I do, I compliment someone. You know, I absolutely admire the work that you do.
Right.
What is it that inspires you? Tell me more about what you do. Get to know that person. Don't just throw what you want on them. That's the biggest mistake I think a lot of people make. Don't just give your card out. Just engage them in a simple conversation, and eventually they'll be intrigued enough to ask you for your information. I think that will make you stand out from any other person. But, you know, on the back end, I do research. I look at LinkedIn pages, I look at Facebook, but I just throw it in casual conversation. By the way, you're from Atlanta, correct? Or, you know, you travel from Atlanta. Like, I would just casually throw it in, but I'm just not going to repeat everything I know about it.
Right. It's just like, you know, if a dude try to talk to you, right? No, I'm just like, let's be honest. You know, it's hard if you're single. You know, man, you might want to stay there and work on whatever. But, you know, it's like if a dude come up to you, try to talk to you, and he knows absolutely nothing about you, and he's not trying to know anything about you, you're gonna be like, man, this, I don't want that bird. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, no. It's like, that is, I want to do fashion. Here go my business card, and the business card, look at other stuff. You have to build relationships. So, Brooke, do you have anything to say?
I do, and kind of just like tagging on that. I do like research. I don't like it when people want to be on the show I'm on, and they don't really know the name. Or they don't, I like that. I'm kind of impressed by that you've done your research. And what I also like is to talk about someone to come up to me on a professional setting with how this is mutually beneficial. Tell me how what you are pitching to me would benefit my viewers. You don't have to tell me my hair is pretty, but tell me, you know what I mean? But tell me what you could do, what you want me to do for you, and how that could benefit me and my viewers as well. Listen, we're in this together, open and honest, but also knowing that this is a two-person thing, and if there's something, just like, even I think it comes up, if you want to be in someone's intern, yeah, you need to tell them what you could do for them. Right. Not just what they could do for you. You need to tell them what you could do for them and how great you can help their business, and then they can help you in return. So I think, always think about the other side, not just necessarily what you want from them, but what could you do for them, because that makes me want to work with you.
And just to piggyback on what Brooke said, I get all the time, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Esco, play my single on King I'm an upper-rising rapper, R&B singer. You know, if you approach me like that on Twitter or Facebook or in person and you don't have your music with you, you know, first of all, you should have your music with you and be prepared to kind of maybe get an opportunity, because I can hand it to the program director. You know, when I go to
my topic, which is branding. How you branding yourself? This is my first time seeing you all, majority of you. But my perception is, you know, either you're professional, you're sweet, whatever. And a lot of people don't realize, especially when you're trying to, this is like here in the room is your brand. So with you four ladies, how do you all protect your brand and your integrity?
I I think for me it's about the company that I keep. My Facebook or social media may look a certain way. I'm talking about professionalism every day, but I hang out with a friend. You know, she's using all kind of foul language and posting all kind of provocative pictures. So people are going to associate you by who you're hanging around with in your circle. So I make sure that in that sense that my brand is good.
I like that. I totally agree with that. You know, we all have those friends when we were growing up. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, then, you know. So I don't know.
I agree with that. I think that protecting the brand also comes to being conscious of it at all times. We talk about a lot of topics where you may run into people or situations that could cause you to act out of character or act a way that may not be out of character for me, but it's not professional and good for my brand, because I could cross that line with you if I wanted to, but I have to think about my brand and the things that I want to do. So I know for me, I started out with social media. I have 2 social media pages. One is, you know, my business page, and one is my personal page. If you went on my personal page, it's pretty similar to my other one because I'm the same person. But I'm aware of not just my brand for outsiders, but I think about family members. Like, I'm aware that people are not going to take that as just me having a moment. They're going to take that so much further, and it's out there forever. So I think just being aware of who you are, your surroundings, and everything that you do that someone is looking and paying attention to it. And that was a great quote that you used, because I recently encountered someone that I didn't know that she, like, I have my businesses and I have my 9 to 5, and I don't cross them. Like, I don't talk about my businesses at work, things like that. And so I probably questioned her. Yeah. And she's like, I saw it on Instagram and Facebook. I want to come. I'm like, okay, like, that's fine. But you know, I'm so not secretive, but secure in how I promote things. That, you know, it was great that she knew about it and was very interested in coming, but it just caught me off guard because I thought I had
slipped up. Yourself. Because let me tell you, people can tell if you fake and if you're phony, because there's a lot of people with boutiques, there's a lot of people that are bloggers, there's a lot of DJs. It's just a whole lot mindful of how I say stuff. Even if you have to take a step back, you know who you are. You have to be honest with yourself. I'm a lot to deal with. Somebody, I'm just saying, you have to know if people can handle you all at one time, or if they can take you stealthily. You have to be honest with yourself, because if you are trying to promote yourself, you have to know your brand. You have to do what we call a SWOT analysis. You have to do your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. And sometimes you are your biggest career. And you know, to close this segment, are there any last comments you ladies want to?
I would say just make sure that you are sure that that is what you want to do before you pursue that person. Just because, you know, you may see somebody's blog, you may love it and like to read it, and might kind of like to write. You may think, oh, I want to blog, but you don't understand how much goes into it. So I would say just whatever profession or job or anything that you're thinking about pursuing, make sure that you do your own research and possibly, you know, talk to those people in the field to see what it takes to be dedicated to it before you pursue someone that may be ready to give you an opportunity that you aren't ready for.
And then you can hurt yourself in the back end.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's so important.
And I just want to say that I wanted to do this because we wanted to uplift each other. And just always remember that no one has to lose for you to win. No one has to lose for you to win. Stay in your own lane. I literally had to take this one girl out of my news feed on Facebook because I kept in my mind, I kept comparing myself to her. I was like, oh, she got this story. Let me get this story. She got this story. Let me get this story. She write like this. It was so stupid. It was such a waste of time. And run around in circles, but I'm in my own lane. So just appreciate who you are and appreciate yourself.
And I talked about this before, you know, kind of a situation where people will tell you they've never seen, just because they've never seen it before, they tried and it didn't work for them, that it won't work for you. It makes no sense to dream small. That makes no sense. You shouldn't dream in reality. What you think is reality, what you see around you, that makes no sense. That's not what a dream is. You know, dreams happen at night when you're asleep and unconscious. Like, you know what I mean? Like, wow. There's so many people going to be on that side already. So you be on this side and just believe it. I think there's so many people, when we look at the people who are, especially Black women, like when we look at the greats, there was a first at one point, it wasn't that far off. So, you know, you can be the third or the fourth.
So I can't just be on unemployment and just give up on my life. But I said, you know what, let me just start somewhere fresh. Let me pick up the pieces and move to a new city. I got a job within a week. It took me a year of no's to just up and move and get something within a week. So you just have to persevere, and you have to stand strong in your faith as well. Anyone else?
Yes. You know, sometimes
I know, especially in radio. Trust me, I I know.
You know, sometimes when you get a
No, you do this. Okay, well, I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna do research. I'm gonna do promotions. I'm gonna do this for a while. Maybe I did it for 2 months. And he one day came to me, I'm gonna give you an opportunity. It was 12 o'clock midnight. He said, okay, tonight's your night. You're gonna go on the air.
There's gonna be a lot of no's, but they don't. If you know for sure, you believe in yourself, and you know for sure that you're working really, really hard, and you are qualified for this, and you can do this, and you're working really hard to be able to do it, and you're not.
I would say, and even when you get told no, you can create your own yes. I've encountered, of course, a lot of no's in my life, as we all have, but I would say with the businesses that I have, that I created them myself because, one, I might have got told no a couple that I could or thought I could. So that's my biggest thing. That even if you're told no, you can create your own lane. Like she said, the lane for everybody. You just have to make it your own, make it uniquely yours, and it can be done.
And the next thing we're going to talk about now, this a lot of you may not know because I don't share my personal self a lot of times on my social media pages. But I'm a mom and I'm going on. How did you do that?
I know. Well, she put me out there. It can be challenging, but you make time for what's important to you. So, you know, I'm very much work for networking, for friends. Make sure, you know, your significant other is important, but your girlfriends, you need them too. Don't just throw them off to the wind when you're with somebody. I'm not spontaneous. I gotta work on that. But that's how I work it out in my life.
I agree. I'm a player to a T. I tell people, if you want me to do something, you need to see me write it down in the plan or it does not exist. So it's extremely important for me to do it because it's like I'm not comfortable doing things like you asked me to do something tomorrow that you could have told me, especially like 2 weeks ago. Like, I'm going to tell you no. So I don't mind telling people no. So I may go see a friend in another city and I make it my business to not do any work while I am away with them because I used to take my laptop and do work while I was on vacation. So I think it comes down to being very, having a planner, being very accountable. You can say, well, I'll get with him later because I can do this over here. So I think having that balance, if you don't have that balance, then you'll go crazy. And, so, and lack of sleep, running off fumes, like Nashville, and I'm driving back tonight, and I know I'm going to be up doing something else. So it's just a lifestyle. Red Bull. Right. Unhealthy addiction.
And I wake up at 1:30 in the morning for work, but I will go to sleep at noon and be asleep until 10 p.m. I don't mind. Okay. He always says you can sleep when you die. And no. Sleeping, wake up refreshed.
We forget about taking care of ourselves. So like Brooke, sleeping is good. You have to take, because that's the part of taking care of yourself. So are there any tips that you guys have as far as, you know, getting some me time?
I have a new motto that I've been living by this year. It's self-care equals the best care. And I make sure that at least once a day, I block out an hour and a half just for me. So I may want to read my hour and a half of just me time, and that just helps me to recharge, whether it's first thing in the morning or in the evening. I know that I took care of myself for that hour and a half and nothing else was going on in the world.
2014 is, if I come home one day and I am tired or I just want to do nothing and I don't have to set it at a certain time, I will
give everyone a chance to shout themselves out where everyone can reach them.
I'm just playing.
I'm just playing.
Lily Daniels on Facebook. I'm also president of Memphis Herbally and Professionals. So we have a Facebook page, Instagram, and Twitter. My Instagram and Twitter is CynDaniels09.
Hello, everybody. I am Shaana Worlds, and my brand is Shaana Montana, the brand. And so what falls under my line, everything I'm wearing today is from the Tyson accessories, including the belt. And I also have Shaana Montana Tees, which is a t-shirt line where I make custom shirts. If you want a shirt designed for a bridal party, this journey, I would say about 2010, 2011. I got told no a couple of times, and then I dived into it. But my name is, I'm going to spell it for you guys so y'all can find me. Shaana is A-N-A-H-M-O-N-T-A-N-A. So
I love how everyone has their phone.
It's a double A, it is a double N in the Montana, and you go into productions or Tyson accessories.
My name is Brooke Thomas. I'm on Fox 15 and I report on Val and Ernie's show from 7 to 10, and on Wednesdays I anchor our midday show at 11. At any point in the morning when you wake up, flip us on. we're a funny show. We're a good show. I think so. And you can find on Facebook. I have a like page. I'm Brooke
Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Ina Esco, ENAESCO. And like I said, I just launched my website, inaesco.com, and hopefully I'll be pulling some advertisers to get some income flowing.
You got a lot of entrepreneurs.
Hello.
I would like to say thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you to my mom. Oh, I gotta do a special shout out. My mom, my friends that traveled to see me. I really appreciate it. You all for coming, my family, my friends, and VaShaunna and I, we wanted to do this because we want to give back to you. We wanted you to, because we know how it is, especially coming up in the entertainment industry. So many people doing it. Like for you, what somebody has done for us. You know what I'm saying? So thank you all for coming. I hope you all enjoyed it. Oh, okay. Well, you do your thing. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so special shout out my family that drove from St. Louis. My friends. Of course, my cousins that for me. I love you. Okay, and thank you, of course, the panel. Oh. Enjoyed this as much as I have. Blue Dream Productions put on an amazing video just for you. I hope you've enjoyed the empowerment, the go-get-em, the support that these ladies have shown throughout this event. It was amazing. The seats were full. It was even an overflow area. I'm so excited. I hope you will join us next year. It is going to be bigger and better. Oh my gosh, I've had an amazing time. So remember, it's always the latest with VR. Bye.